तो बस अपना पढ़ते गया एंड एग्ज़ाम दे दिया तो आ गया।
नहीं, रैंक 1 का सपना मैंने ऐसे नहीं देखा था, पर हाँ ये ज़रूर था जो भी देना है अपना बेस्ट देना है।
मैं कभी सोच के नहीं रखा था कि रैंक 2 आएगा मेरा।
मेरा मानना ये है कि सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है कि आप अपना बेस्ट वर्जन बनो।
एक प्रॉपर बैलेंस और एक प्रॉपर शेड्यूल, दैट इज द मोटो।
So let's continue. Enforcing the law. The law can be central law, the law can be state law. Do you remember the list? So, after the law is passed in the parliament, it needs to be enforced. So, basically, somebody needs to monitor whether the law is being followed. So, who will do this job? This job is of the executive, the ministries, plus the IAS officers. Just tell me one thing, if it is a state law, who would be the enforcing authority? Sir, of course, the state government. Likewise, if it is a central law, the authority would be the central government. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Cabinet Ministers, Shri Amit Shah, Ministry of Home Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sita Raman, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So the enforcing authority are distributed to various ministries. So we just saw Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So you can see the cabinet ministers, and these are ministers of state. So Income Tax Act is implemented and enforced by Ministry of Finance through the Central Board of Direct Taxes, coming under Department of Revenue, and is administered by officers of Indian Revenue Services. So when we say Income Tax Act, we know that this is the law of the Parliament. So law is IT Act. Now this law needs to be enforced. So we have the minister as well as the ministry. Ministry is permanent, the minister can change. For example, finance ministry is permanent. We also see that there is a board called CBDT. It comes under Department of Revenue. So we have ministry, we have various departments. This department has a board, and we have various officers, generally IAS officers. So all these things are there so that this IT Act can be enforced properly. So we are discussing Ministry of Finance, various departments, Department of Economic Affairs, Department of Expenditure, Department of Revenue, Department of Financial Services, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, Department of Public Enterprises. The vision, the mission. You have Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Department of Financial Services, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, again headed by Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. Department of Revenue, Department of Expenditure, Department of Economic Affairs, the Ministry of Finance. So this is concerned with economy of India, serving as Treasury of India. It is concerned with taxation, financial legislation, financial institutions, capital markets, center and state finances, and the union budget. So this budget is very important. Constitution of the Ministry of Finance is the apex controlling authority of four central civil services, namely Indian Revenue Service, Indian Audit and Accounts Service, Indian Economic Service, Indian Civil Accounts Service. So basically you have one more, Indian Cost and Management Account Service. Ministry of Corporate Affairs is an Indian government ministry primarily concerned with administration of the Companies Act. So basically we know that these ministries are for enforcement. So which law? This ministry will be enforcing the Companies Act 2013, the Companies Act 1956, the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008, and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Responsible mainly for the regulation of Indian enterprises in the industrial and services sector. The Indian enterprises mostly they register themselves under the Companies Act. So Ministry of Corporate Affairs also regulates the Indian enterprises. The ministry is mostly run by civil servants of the ICLS cadre. This is junior to the IAS cadre. The highest post, Director General of Corporate Affairs, is fixed at apex scale for the ICLS. So dear students, as I had told you, 65% syllabus just needs your time and attention. We are holistically studying like a prayer. Ministry of Home Affairs, Grah Mantralaya. This is headed by Amit Shah ji. Is a ministry of the Government of India. As an interior ministry of India, it is mainly responsible for maintenance of internal security and domestic policy. The Home Ministry is headed by Union Minister of Home Affairs. Departments of Ministry of Home Affairs: Department of Border Management, Department of Internal Security, Department of Home, Department of Official Language, Department of States, Department of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh Affairs. Then we also have Department of Official Languages, Central Translation Bureau, Central Hindi Training Institute, Directorate of Census Operations. So all these come under departments of Ministry of Home Affairs. Please visit the websites. Now we have Ministry of Law and Justice. In the Government of India is a cabinet ministry which deals with management of legal affairs through Department of Legal Affairs, legislative activities through Legislative Department, administration of justice in India through Department of Justice, The Department of Legal Affairs is concerned with advising the various ministries of central government, while the legislative department is concerned with drafting of principal legislation for central government. I don't think I need to explain you this. Department of Ministry of Law and Justice, they have three departments: Department of Legal Affairs, Legislative Department, Department of Justice. Now we have the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, is a regulatory body for securities and commodity market in India under the ownership of Ministry of Finance within the Government of India. It was established on 12th April 1988 as an exclusive body and was given statutory powers on 30th January 1992 through the SEBI Act 1992. Next is Reserve Bank of India, RBI, is India's central bank and regulatory body responsible for regulation of Indian banking system. It is under the ownership of Ministry of Finance, Government of India. It is responsible for the control, issue and maintaining supply of Indian rupee. It also manages the country's main payment systems and works to promote its economic development. Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudram is a specialized division of RBI through which it prints and mints Indian currency notes in two of its currency printing presses located in Nasik, Western India and Devas, Central India. RBI established the National Payments Corporation of India as one of its specialized division to regulate the payment and settlement systems in India. Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation was established by RBI as one of its specialized division for the purpose of providing insurance of deposits and guaranteeing of credit facilities to all Indian banks. Now we come to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India is the regulator for overseeing insolvency proceedings and entities like insolvency professional agencies, insolvency professionals, and information utilities in India. If any corporate does not pay the money, they can be proceeded under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board. It was established on 1 October 2016 and given statutory powers through the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, which was passed by Lok Sabha on 5th May 2016. It covers individuals, companies, limited liability, partnerships, and partnership firms. Sir, we are still wondering about this Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Okay, so basically the new code will speed up. What do you mean by the new code? Through the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, this new code will speed up the resolution processes for stressed assets in the country. It attempts to simplify the process of insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings. You don't have money to pay. You had to pay 500 crores, but you only have 200 crores. So how do you settle? It handles the cases using two tribunals like NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, and Debt Recovery Tribunal. Now we come to structure of the Indian judicial system. So we know if there is a dispute between citizens or between citizens and the government, sir, can I fight with the government? Of course, don't worry. So who is going to help you? The Indian judicial system is going to help you. So we saw that laws are formulated. We understood that laws needs to be enforced. Now we come to regulation of the interpretation of acts and codes. So regulation of interpretation, very, very important, of the acts and the codes. So the judiciary is basically there to interpret what? The acts and the codes. Basically the acts and the codes are the laws. The laws were made in the parliament. Okay, the ministries were trying to enforce it. Now if there is a dispute, it has been found that the dispute is generally of the interpretation. Laws exist, but I might have interpreted wrongly. So now I will need to verify with the judiciary. Now this dispute would be resolved by the judiciary. Promotion of fairness. Fairness means justice among the citizens of the land. So we know that Supreme Court is the topmost, then we have high courts, and then we have district courts. Now decisions of high court are binding in the respective state, but other states can also follow them in the persuasive mode. What do you mean by persuasive mode? Not compulsory. So it is not compulsory. If they feel like, they can follow it. But decisions of Supreme Court are binding on all high courts under Article 141 of the Indian Constitution. In fact, a Supreme Court decision is the final word on the matter. So once more, decisions of High Court are binding in the respective state but are only persuasive in other states. Decisions of the Supreme Court are binding on all High Courts under Article 141 of the Indian Constitution. In fact, a Supreme Court decision is the final word on the matter. So Supreme Court is the apex body. Apex means highest. It was established on 26 January 1950. The Chief Justice of India is the highest authority appointed under Article 126. The principal bench of the Supreme Court consists of 7 members, including the Chief Justice of India. Presently, the number has increased to 34. So earlier it was 7, now it is 34. So basically 7, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So this way you can remember, including the Chief Justice of India, because the cases and workload have increased. So now if you are in trouble, you want to seek relief from the Supreme Court, you can do it by filing a writ petition. And Article 32 gives you the right. Article 32 of the Constitution of India. Okay. So the highest court of appeal in each state would be the High Court, and Union Territory is the High Court. Now we have Article 214 of the Constitution of India, that there must be a High Court in each state. Which is the oldest High Court in India? The oldest High Court in the country is the Calcutta High Court, established on 2nd July 1862. This Calcutta High Court is shared by Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So, Article 214 states that there must be a High Court in each state. If by any chance there is no High Court, they will share. The High Court has appellant, original jurisdiction, and supervisory jurisdiction. So appellant means if somebody is not happy, they appeal, or it is original jurisdiction or supervisory jurisdiction. However, Article 227 of the Indian Constitution limits a High Court supervisory power. In India, there are 25 High Courts, one for each state and union territory, and one for each state and union territory. 6 states share a single high court. An individual can seek remedies against violation of fundamental rights in High Court by filing writ under Article 226. 226. Below the High Courts are the district courts. The district judge will deal with the civil law matters. The Court of Sessions will deal with the criminal matters. If there is a money matter, so that money matter should not exceed rupees 2 crore for the district court. Jurisdiction is a very important word. Jurisdiction means the power to control. Like, I have the power to control my children or my kids, but I do not have power to control my neighbor's kids. Okay? So courts get territorial jurisdiction based on areas covered by them. So which territory? As per the areas covered. Cases are decided based on the local limits within which the parties reside or the property under dispute. See, the point is, if I stay in Kolkata, I will not go and file a case in Chennai. But if I have a property in Chennai, then I can file the case in Chennai. Metropolitan courts are established in metropolitan cities in consultation with High Court, where the population is 10 lakh or more. Chief Metropolitan Magistrate has powers as Chief Judicial Magistrate, and Metropolitan Magistrate has powers as the Court of Magistrate of first class. So dear students, I would want you all to kindly test your knowledge, right? So there are approximately 9 questions and 2 descriptive questions. So kindly try them out, and it's thank you and lots of love. Bye bye.